All right, man, maybe I'm jumping into the ring too late on this one. Maybe I'm not going to say anything new, but I'm just going to talk. But look, we all know the details. Pablo Torre has laid out all the details. It's been talked about enough the past 48 hours. A company that said they were going to plant some trees goes bankrupt. Dig through the paperwork. Why is Kawhi in here? Kawhi LLC, Uncle Dennis, $28 million that then became $48 million. Partnership with the Clippers. Steve Ballmer has this softball interview on ESPN. Co-founder just pled guilty to fraud. Shout out Pablo Torre. Zach Lowe has talked about the conversations he's had amongst people in the league, and anger being a word that was a big one in that whole thing for him. Everybody's seen the excerpts of the CBA talking about circumstantial evidence being enough for circumventing the salary cap, and that alone is already grounds for punishment. But assuming the NBA goes through with a full-blown investigation, and I know Shams tweeted that the NBA spokesperson said we're investigating this. That's the one thing we've seen, unless I missed something so far. That could lead to a much more harsh punishment where, we all know fines don't matter to Steve Ballmer, but whether it's suspensions, whether it's just a massive amount of draft picks being taken away, whatever. There's been convos about, could Kawhi's contract get voided? I don't know. Look, man, I love the NBA. Everybody watching this, I assume, loves the NBA. That doesn't mean we can't criticize certain things. The Tim Donaghy scandal is always going to loom over the league to some degree. There's always going to be some skepticism towards the officiating in this league. No, I don't think today NBA refs are betting on games, but we know it happened. And then there's, of course, a lot of people who think the lottery is rigged. A lot of people, I believe they're serious on this, because I've seen it said way too many times on the internet, believe that Cooper Flagg was meant to go to Dallas the whole time. There's no skepticism necessary here. We got paperwork, we got money, we got names, and if this is the type of thing that you allow to exist just in the ether because perhaps a certain punishment is just a slap on the wrist or whatever, then I have no idea what that does to the perception of the league, right? Because the evidence is there, dude. If this doesn't get punished properly, and yeah, I know, we got to have a whole investigation, and there's going to be a million legal things that need to get ironed out that I am not anywhere near smart enough to have an opinion on. And doing all this with one of the richest people in the world. But if in the eyes of everybody, this is not treated appropriately by the NBA, then it's just going to kind of loom in the back of our heads whenever we see any star player sign anywhere. Oh, how much more did they get from this thing that we'll maybe never know about? I'm just some dude. I'm not a lawyer. I've just read all the evidence that everybody else has read. I don't even really know how Steve Ballmer and the Clippers could get away from this whole thing, and we're not all just extremely skeptical moving forward. If the NBA and Adam Silver do an investigation, and then their takeaway is hey guys, it's actually not as big of a deal as you guys all think it is, there's no way they think that would be received well, right? I would just be skeptical about all of it. Right now, it's basically, hey man, I got conned by this company. It's dude, you're worth $150 billion. You just got duped? That's it? That's not going to work for me, man. The question then becomes does this type of thing happen more than we know? The only reason we know about this is because the company went bankrupt and Pablo Torre went into super journalist mode. Anyway, as far as potential punishments, yeah, if the Clippers end up getting draft picks taken away that they actually do have starting in 2030 now, then the whole thing's doomed. Simply being in LA, even if you're not the Lakers, still gives you a revenue bump compared to a lot of other teams, but as far as the future outlook of the team, you could just forget about that if the picks really get stripped away. But hey, I don't know how long this process is going to be. I don't know how aggressively the NBA is going to go at this, but you got it, man. Cap circumvention, that's about as big of a thing as you can have, man. Because if owners are just able to be hey, here's your contract that everybody knows about, and then here's some more money on the side that we're going to hide into this business, you can't do that, bro. And this also comes after as many reports as you want to find about Uncle Dennis just asking for things where teams are wait, what? You want? Huh? You can't do that, bro.